Hi, I'm Jeff Natale, and this parenting moment is brought to you from Erie Kids. Today we're going to talk about moms dealing with divorce. This issue has come up a number of times in both sessions that I have and in the conversations that we have in the community. And today we want to talk about how to survive the divorce process if you're a mom, especially when you're in that primary parenting position. Let's face it, divorce is a death. The reality of the end of an intimate relationship that began with enthusiasm and intimacy and hope for a loving future is a difficult one to accept. And then the changes begin, the adaptations to a new reality. Perhaps the most difficult is not seeing your children every day. So why not talk about this in terms of moms and dads? And at the risk of offending fathers, it's an inescapable and statistically impressive fact that high conflict divorces, mothers continue to be the primary and preferred parent. And as such, they find themselves in an emotionally lost position when it comes to switching custody. There's struggles in the process, and we want to talk about those struggles and define the dynamics that in hopes to find some solutions. Let's first talk about the fact that now he wants to be a parent. And whether it's justified or not, moms can often be very critical of dads when it comes to parenting their children after divorce. Well, despite the arguments to the same, it is true that in Western cultures, especially after World War II, women were displaced from the factory but found that they could work. And yet they didn't give up their jobs at home, and this continues today. However, for the most part, men have maintained their single role in the home, and as such, they've worked at the office, around the house, and a second job, but they've left the child rearing to the moms. And after the divorce, dads are in a position to have to learn new responsibilities in being a direct caretaker. Well, the good news is, often this is a great opportunity to bond in a different way with the children. The bad news is it becomes an area of frustration for moms. But what can you do? Well, acknowledge that despite your anger, in the end, if he rises to the occasion, the kids are the ones who benefit. That is a valuable change. And your relationship with the kids is safe. So what's left to do is just mourn the fact that your children couldn't benefit from that when you were still married. Second issue is he does it all wrong. In the parenting process, dads may find themselves floundering a bit in their new role. Well, you know what? They may be downright clumsy. Because it's likely that there is no love lost between you and your ex, you might find it easy to be critical. There are two things that you just have to remember. The relationship that you had that might have supported a challenging conversation on how to be a good parent or a better parent or how to do it right, well, it's likely over. And as such, you have to decide if you are the person to bring the critique to him or if it's necessary to bring that critique at all. Often, moms overinterpret the need to intervene. Really, how necessary is it to bring each of your children's concerns to your ex? Choosing your battles is a good strategy here. Second, it's also likely that your kids are bringing the bad news to you from their visit for a number of reasons. And I like to explain it this way. Kids report to their parents really for three main reasons. First, they want to just get things off their chest. And often, this is also to prove their loyalties to you by throwing the other parent under the bus. Second, they want to get advice from you, and honestly, that's really pretty rare. Think about teenagers. How often do they want their parents' advice? Finally, they want to get you to intervene on their behalf, and believe it or not, this is really the least likely reason that they tell you anything. More often than not, it is to report because they believe that it's something that they're supposed to do. And how should you respond? Well, start by asking them what it is that they want you to do. It's likely that telling the other parent really falls somewhere in the 1% area. Do nothing is their likely response. Just ask, do you want me to listen? Do you want my opinion? Or would you like me to do something about it? Let's talk about moving on. When he moves on to another relationship, you may find that you revisit feelings of he does it all wrong again, except perhaps in some amplified way. Now, I promise this is not going to be an accusation of jealousy on your part. In fact, bringing a new partner in and introducing them to the children is an enormously difficult and provocative task. With that said, this is another time to consider what and how much you should say. No matter how you look at it, an ex-wife discussing relational indiscretion just plain sounds like sour grapes. If the children are having a hard time, encourage them to talk to their dad. If he doesn't listen, ask them if they want you to talk to him. If so, keep the conversation short. When relaying the message, state that you just thought he should know. Be polite and get off the phone as quickly as possible. Don't offer advice unless asked for. That's it. It may change, it may not, but this is about as much as you can do. And here's the second part of moving on. It really is time for you to consider your own life, your love, support of you. Not everyone's going to remarry or even date, but for those that do, finding a trustworthy, intimate relationship is really a good thing. There is a tremendous amount of support that can be gained in a good relationship. Many people ask me, when should they introduce the children to their new guy or gal? My response always is when you're talking marriage. Moms and dads who bring intimate partners home too soon, or worse, move in together with no real long-term commitment, are creating the opportunity for a significant hardship for the children. This is not a moral commentary, honestly. This is an unfortunate oversight and irresponsible move on the part of a parent. My practice is full of children whose parents brought their boyfriend or girlfriend home too soon. And if you don't agree, then consider that the courts often agree with this opinion. In the end, individual therapy with a counselor who understands the divorce process often proves to be a terrific sounding board and coaching opportunity for you. Take advantage of your local counselors if you find yourself in a situation that I discussed. Finally, Erie Kids has a terrific video available that discusses most of these struggles. It's a good conversation starter with kids and with your ex. And it's available for purchase on our website, eriekids.org. I hope you've enjoyed this parenting tip, and we'll be back with many more. Thanks a lot. This is Jeff Natale.